Looks like we're live. Hello, hello. Hello, world. Hello, YouTube. Can you hear me? Fuck, I think I'm getting fruit flies in the garage. Some bullshit. Fruit flies can be a pain in the arse. Pain in the arse. What's up, Jerry? Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me all right? Can you hear me? Can you dig it? A good movie. Warriors. Warriors. Come out to play. So we got Jerry and Jari. They came to party. Here, let's make it bigger. Taller. What's going on? Jari and Jerry. Welcome in, guys. How's your Saturday going? What have you been up to? Staying out of trouble, I hope. Jari, yes. But Jerry, no. Definitely not. Too wild. What the hell? I do not like cones. Any of you guys fuck with cones? We gotta stuff it. I feel like there should be an easier way to do this. So they give you this cone and then they give you a stick with it. And you're supposed to shovel it into the cone and then like slam it down. Like, come on, guys. There's got to be a better way to do this. And how do you have a dispensary and you don't have zigzags? It's because they want to sell you these fucking stupid cones. It's a damn conspiracy. I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to have a BF. There you go, Jerry. Lazy Saturday. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a way to do it. Candace says, I get pre-stuffed. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go, but it's never good. You know what I mean? I got a really good deal on some stuff, so figure what the hell. Cut out the middleman, right? The little Indonesian kid that rolls it for you. Some sweatshop. You know, I'm looking out for him. There we go. Got to fold the paper and then just kind of let it fall in. Bam. Think harder or think smarter. Don't work harder. And just like that, we're done. Let's see who we got in the building. We got Candace D. Welcome in. Good to see you. Jari. Can't walk. Did you guys have a good Halloween? How'd you make out? Did you guys make out like bandits? Jari says, where's everyone at? I don't know. It is a Saturday. Sure, all the youngins are out and about doing their little mating dance, where they kind of ruffle their feathers. They do like a funny little dance. Little mating ritual. Hey, what's going on, Peggy? How you doing? What are you guys up to? You guys covering, following any true crime, covering any new cases? Anything new with older cases? What are you guys up to? You guys keeping up with politics? Apparently, we're getting ready to test nuclear weapons again for the first time in, I believe, 30 years. That, seems like we're heading in the right direction. That's always good when we're detonating nuclear bombs on a small rock floating through space. I mean, what could go wrong? I say go for it. Good. It's always good to hear when you guys are doing well. We live in the country, so no trick-or-treaters. Always buy candy, though. So we had a good haul. Every Halloween, I gain 10 pounds. You cannot leave bags of candy around my fat ass. I'm telling you guys. I was born with man tits. I'm just chunky by nature. You cannot leave chocolate around me. I'm Mexican, Native American, and then European, German, and Swedish. Do not leave chocolate around me. Don't leave tortillas or chocolate in front of me. I will eat it. Peggy says I gave up on politics. Well, I mean, you can't really give up on politics. You can only keep up with it. You have politics in the way you communicate with people, in the way your culture kind of dictates your lifestyle. There's politics and everything. With any interaction with another human being, there's politics, Just all about how you conduct yourself while we're traveling through life, I guess. They all suck. Yeah, politicians. Oh, hell yeah. Politicians are probably some of the worst people. Think about it. They're professional liars. Their whole job is to divide people, right? I'm going to divide you from your fellow human beings so that I can gain power. right? I need this group of people that trust me and who continue to vote for me and keep me in power. I need this group of people to hate you, this group, because this group's not voting for me. So I need to make my group bigger, and I need to make this other fucking group look like shit. So I need to divide all of these people and bring as many over to my side. Like imagine doing that for a living. Like what the fuck? What do you do for a living? Oh, I divide people and then I manipulate them so that I can, have some kind of power. They elevate me to this position. But first I have to divide them from the rest of their fellow humans. Then they vote for me and then I don't keep any of my promises. And I make them look like the idiots that they are. Because that's what we are, a bunch of idiots. Bunch of stupid ants. Fucking worker bees and shit. Stephanie is in the building. I would like to give a shout out to Jerry, Jari, Candace, Peggy O, and Stephanie. Welcome in, guys. So if we can all agree that we hate politicians and they're nothing but dirty dividers, what else is going on? Are you guys still obsessed with the Delphi case like I am? The Flora case has been on my mind a lot lately. And then always Evansdale. I don't know. I just feel like the technology that we have available for investigators isn't very good. Like we have all this technology in the world and really we haven't made that many advancements. Like I feel like it's still very crude how we collect evidence, how we track evidence, how we store evidence, and then how we forget people. It's like today when I was covering Emily Pike's case. Like they literally haven't even found her arms and nobody cares. And that's driving me crazy. It's like making me sick to my stomach. They're like, "Oh, well, we looked. We didn't find him." Like you did how do you just stop looking for a murder victim's arms like after a few days? Like, "Oh, we're just done." You know. They're obviously not anywhere around here. Yeah, there's just something really disturbing about that. It's like haunting. How could she possibly rest? Well, she probably never can rest. And the thing is that about Emily Pike's cases, we wouldn't even have known that she was dismembered and thrown away like trash if they wouldn't have accidentally posted a photograph on one of their social media pages. So they accidentally uploaded a private photograph of the dump site. So they never even planned to tell anybody what happened to Emily. So that makes me think how many other cases out there are we not do we not know about? You know, how many cases just like Emily's where the only reason that we know those details is because they made a mistake? How many other cases that we just don't even know? Like what evil shit is going on out there that we have no clue about? What's up, CJK? I'm watching the World Series, hoping the Dodgers lose. Stephanie, thank you. Yes, Nick is up for election next year. Nick is up for election. For what? What is he running for? Or is it are you voted in as prosecutor? Sorry, it's been a long day. Did you see the arrest and missing Michael Vaughn's case? Yes, I did. It's always nice to get good news. You know, but there's really no good news when it comes to bad news. Like, I'm pretty sure we all keep up with true crime because we're afraid, you know, we're all afraid. We see these stories on the news and we don't want to become that. At least that's, you know, true for me. Nobody seems immune to becoming a victim of true crime. It seems to happen to the wealthy people, the middle class people, down to, you know, the very bottom of the economic totem. State's attorney. Yeah, that's awful, CJK. It's like the workload is too much for these guys. I mean, look how they handled the Delphi murders. Like, what a joke. Like, how are you handling all these other cases? No wonder why nobody's getting arrested. If anything, we need more online sleuths. You know, we need more educated people, people who have kind of worked in the field of investigations to help guide us so that we can be more effective. Because we're obviously not going anywhere. Like, we're not afraid of anything. The shit that we've seen on this journey on YouTube, oh man. Like, obviously, you can't scare us away. Fishy, what up? How's it going? How was your Halloween? And what have you been up to? Any cases that you're following? Are you still digging into the Delphi case? Anything interesting? And what are your thoughts on Flora and Evansdale? Yes, voted in, but no one may run against him. Yeah, I was confused on that for a second. He's going to be extradited to Idaho. He needs to tell where that sweet boy's remains are. Well, hopefully the people who are working the case can, you know, work some magic. Because honestly, it's the professionals. These some of these people just have a natural talent. These investigators, some of them know how to relate. They're kind of like empaths. You know what I mean? They can just pick up on the vibes from these people, and then they can just right on the fly. They can kind of customize an approach. They can kind of just get a feel for the for what's kind of going on there, for the environment. Yeah, this year was pretty good for us out here for trick or treating. Sometimes it's kind of dead, but it looks like they organized and stepped up this year. I was happy. Peggy says the government has proven over and over they need to outsource as much as possible. Yeah, the government shouldn't be doing anything. They should just be maintaining our highways, updating everything, our bridges, you know, elevating us technologically along with the military. Everything else should be subsidized or done by the private sector. Like the government shouldn't be doing anything. They shouldn't be involved in anything. Everything should be private. Their job should strictly be infrastructure, in my opinion. And like anything judicial, they need solved. The Evansdale killer's DNA must not be in CODIS. Hmm. I don't know, CJK. I don't know if we've. I don't know if there's any results back yet. I'm going to be patient on that one. I'm waiting patiently for that case and also the West Memphis 3 when it comes to DNA. Like, what's taking so long? I don't get it. Fishy says, Delphi, I don't really have anything to say that others aren't. So just watching the appeal. I'm interested in the Apare case and the serial killer guy. Flora, unfortunately, I don't think will be. You don't think it'll ever be solved? Yeah. Wasn't that case under Holman as well? He seems to be kind of fucking up, huh? Does Jerry Holman even have like what's his track record? Like what cases has he solved? I know you guys might say, "Oh, well, he solved the Delphi murders." I mean, but did he? Did he really? You gonna tell me that Jerry Holman didn't know about Richard Allen? It's bullshit. So if he knew about Richard Allen, why did he lie about it? Oh yeah, is it because he took Kagan Klein to some hotel? I'm certain Jari. Oh, it's for something exactly. I am truly disgusted with ISP. Yeah, Carroll County sucks too. The thing is that you shouldn't be putting all this faith into law enforcement. I just don't I just don't see any reason why you should. I think the group that's working on the Rex Heuermann case, um, I think they're doing a great job. But for all these other cases, I feel like it's just a job for them, which it is. You can't blame them. We're all human. But people aren't just really fighting as hard as they could be. Think about it. Serial killers target prostitutes. What law enforcement officer is going to, be working overtime to try to solve that case? The local drug addict, begging for money on the corner, is found murdered in some back alley. They're not going to spend, that much time on that case. Right. And then you have the mayor's son dies or something suddenly, and it's a high profile case. Or some rich kid or somebody that has powerful friends or enough money to kind of go out there and launch a campaign. I remember about 20 years ago, a buddy of mine was murdered in an alley. And I didn't think they were ever going to solve that case. I think it was like 5 years later they got this guy. Fucking tattoos all over his face. I think he was like MS-13 or something like that. Part of it is that, like, as a community, like, it was frowned upon to talk about like how poor the investigation was and like questioning them. And that's a problem because the public holds accountability. Well, there's like a bigger problem when it relates to that. Fishy, it's people that hate law enforcement that somehow attach Richard Allen's freedom to that. The thing is, it's okay to say that they did a really bad job because that's what they did. It was embarrassing. You had Doug Carter up there saying, be patient with us. This is the first time we've ever stood in front of anything like this. And I promise one day I'll tell you what happened. No, that's not what happened. It was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. And then you tell us that Kathy Shank stumbled upon a lost tip when Jerry Holman has had it this entire time. They have all known that Richard Allen was there during that pivotal moment, the pivotal moments when the girls were dropped off and were said to be murdered. Also, we have, the guys down the hill. We have the video, the timestamp. Yet you're not going to interview Richard Allen? There can't be more than 10 men on that trail between 1:45. Doesn't even have to be 1:45. Right from the kidnapping video, right? 2:13. From 2:13 to 4 p.m. Every man that was on those trails between that time should have been on a very short list, which would have included Richard Allen's name. Why the fuck wasn't he interviewed early on? It makes no sense. Makes no sense to me at all. So it's either they're trying to cover up something, possibly with like a Dave McCain scenario. He seems to have a lot of power there. Knowing that if they allow Richard Allen to get arrested, it'll obviously lead to his co-conspirator, who is somebody of power. Stephanie says because he is innocent. He's not innocent at all. That's the problem. Forget Jerry Holman. Look at the evidence. Look at his lack of an alibi. You guys are sticking up more for Richard Allen than Richard Allen has ever stuck up for himself. Like, think about that. You're fighting for a man who doesn't even fight for himself. You have to ask yourself, why would you do that? Why are you doing that? And then you have to say, yeah, why am I doing that? And then you say, oh, yeah, I have a list of things. What is this list? Right? He was there. He said from 1:30 to 3. Okay. Even in his interrogation, he said, I think I was there. So he's even kind of acting as if he doesn't really know. So you have to go off what he said to Dan Doolin. And he admitted in his interview that, yes, he met with Dan Doolin and yes, he provided that information to him. So you have to go off the 1:30 to 3. That's the killer's timeline. Like he did it. He absolutely did it. Question is, did he do it alone? Did he do it alone? And why wasn't he questioned after he tipped himself in? He should have been interviewed, searched. They would have found his gun, possibly even some DNA, but they didn't. They said, nope, we're going to go ahead and hide this. And then one day it's going to magically appear, right? Almost like just to minimize, like, look, Rick, if you don't take the fall for this, you know what we'll do. You know what we're going to do to you. Is there anyone else they cleared that we don't know about? It's a good question. That's a really good question, Fishy. Good question. Stephanie. Oh, he was drugged, so he's innocent? That makes him innocent? Wow. Going around saying Richard Allen is innocent, and that's at the top of your list? What else you got on that list? Hope it's as good as that. Robert Pinnell. What's up, Robert? Shout out to Texas. Did he do it alone? Look, there was no lost tip. They knew who Rick Allen was. They knew about him from the beginning. Jerry Holman knew. They all knew. The question is, why didn't they interview him after he spoke with Dan Doolin? Who cleared that information and stepped and hid? He was hidden. Nobody knew about him. And why does he name drop the McCains during his interrogation? I always thought that was interesting, that he brought up the shack and that he helped tear it down, and that the fact that he was involved while working with Walmart, somehow he was able to get funds from Walmart and funnel them into the foundation ran by the McCains. I wonder what's going on there. Sounds like there might be a story there. They may find another tip in a desk. The question is, why didn't they interview Rick before, right? And why did they set up Kathy that way? So why did they lie about not knowing Rick, clear that tip, never search his home, and then right at the last minute while they're searching, it just seems like damage control, right? Keegan Kline confesses. He makes this detailed confession and definitely dropped Richard Allen's name. But they already had it. They were hoping to get maybe some hard evidence. Whatever they did, they were able to shut up Keegan Kline. Like, hey, you shut up. And they were able to shut up Rick Allen. But the $1 million question, why didn't they interview him? And to follow up on that question, why did they lie about this tip and use poor Kathy Schenck? They set her up. Either that or she did stumble upon the name and she wasn't supposed to. Like Kathy finds it and they're like, oh shit. Like, who left this out? We were supposed to get rid of any evidence pointing at Richard Allen. Like, who the fuck left this out? She found it, made a big deal out of it, right? Like, hey, why haven't you guys been talking about this? Oh, well, this must have fallen through the cracks. And now they're like, shit, what do we do now? Like, if Kathy knows and she's blowing it up, she's calling everybody, she's got Doug Carter on the phone, she's got Nick McClellan on his way down here. What do we do? We've been trying to hide this. And, Kathy stumbled upon this. Now what do we do, right? How do we minimize this? I mean, he was drugged. He was sick. Nothing wrong with the timeline, Stephanie. I bet you can't point out one thing wrong with the timeline because I've tried. I've scrutinized it. Peggy says no one should be cleared. Now, was Richard Allen cleared, or was somebody working on something and they cleared something on their end? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I was supposed to submit all of this information, and I did that. It's been accepted. Now I'm just, for my own personal notes, I'm writing cleared. It's not like they have the power to clear Richard Allen. Maybe they were just clearing the lead or clearing that they sent it to Mike Holman. And then for whatever reason, it just died with him. Jari says, I wonder if there was any investigation into the McCains. I mean, why not? You have Richard Allen and Dave McCain, both men who are lone men, right? We have no DNA at the crime scene to prove whether or not it was either or. Why didn't we hear about that? Why wasn't he interrogated? Where's the search warrant for Dave McCain? He has just as much probable cause as Richard Allen. Like, where's his search warrant? You want to know why we had a new direction presser? Was because they found out that the sketch was Dave McCain. They found out that Daniel Pearson was describing Dave McCain. So they're like, oh, shit. That's why they put that stupid little hat on him. Because that's the hat he wore. So I don't know. Maybe they were interested in him. Maybe they were using that sketch and they weren't talking about him or Richard Allen because they were suspects. But then again, where the hell is the search warrant? CJK says the timeline is not messed up. Allen lied and changed it once he knew it was going to help prove he was there. Well, honestly, Richard Allen never changed anything. During his interview, he goes, oh, well, that's when I thought I was there. He's like, that's kind of how I remember it. He doesn't say, oh, 100%. Like, I left at 1:30. He doesn't say anything like that. He says, well, at least I think. He never gives a 100% absolute answer about his timeline. Go watch the interview if you don't believe me. I want phone info and I want some devious searches. I want the behavioral arc, the missing sock, something, a photo that he developed for free. How about his alibi? Wouldn't that suffice, Fishy? How do you feel about Rick Allen's alibi? It's like people don't want to talk about that. It's like free Rick Allen, but I will not talk about his lack of an alibi. And why, even to this day, he hasn't explained that. And what's very interesting During his first interview, he says, and I spent the day with my mom. He's like, well, not the day, the morning. So I always wonder if that was like a Freudian slip, because you have to wonder, what the hell was Rick doing out there in Peru, not far from the Anthony Shots guy, at 8 a.m. Anthony Shots is logging into 2 burner phones at 8 a.m. And here's Rick in Peru at 8 a.m. What was he doing out there? He was creating it. He might have been trying to create his alibi. And that's why he kind of had a Freudian slip during his interview. He said, well, I spent the day with my mom and my sister, because that was his original alibi. He could have possibly even acted like, hey, while you guys go to lunch, I'm just going to hang out here at the house. Right. And if you get back, if I'm not here, it's because I ran to the store, but I'll be back. So that way he can go commit the murders, just like Kagan Klein, right? The only alibi that TK has is Kagan. And Kagan admitted that he was involved. So he connected to somebody's Wi-Fi, used that as his alibi. Nobody can place him anywhere. The only reason that they cleared him in the investigation was because of his phone. His phone put him in Peru. He wasn't in Peru. His phone was. And he said, well, my dad was with me. Rick could have been doing the very same thing, right? Like, I'm going to go over to my mom's, and then I'm going to establish my alibi. I'm going to take my phone, I'll connect it to her Wi-Fi, and then I'll slip out of here. And I'll go grab the burner phone from Kagan Klein, and we'll go do this thing. But for whatever reason, it fell apart for him. I think maybe even possibly Sarah Carbaugh, seeing him, might have thrown off his plans. He's like, well, I can't use my alibi. I have to kind of explain what I was doing on the trails. All I have to do is explain that, yes, I was here, but I had nothing to do with the murders. Fishy says, did she get the reward? No, she turned it down. And the recorded videos of the interrogation. Haldol. Well, what do you think Haldol is? You think you take Haldol and you just start confessing to murders in detail? Jari says, the only thing I've heard about the McCains was that they both lawyered up immediately. Didn't take the reward, yeah. Why not? She should have. Take that money and do something good with it. But I think the majority of that money was donated. So I guess it's probably still up to them, right? But anyway, guys, that's going to do it. This was just a quick live stream. I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. A little bit tired. Maybe get something, a little bit of a little late night snack or something. But either way, thank you guys for joining this impromptu live stream. I appreciate it. If you want to continue the convo, just leave a comment. Replay crew, you know what to do. Drop a comment. We'll get back to you. Guys, hit the Cash App if you can. If not, hit the like button on the way out. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.